Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, on this triumphant Tuesday for what is going to be nothing short of another jam-packed daily cryptocurrency market update. And as always, if you are new to this channel and finding yourself on my videos for the first time today, don't forget to check out that subscribe button because we drop an update just like this one around 1 p.m. UK time every single day, Monday to Sunday, to help you guys stay up to date with the latest and greatest things happening within the crypto space, but also the broader markets. And that's exactly what we are going to be doing in this video. We're going to be starting things off with a really good take in regards to Mt.Gox and the sell pressure that we may occur as a result of that. Now, we got news yesterday that Mt.Gox are going to start repaying creditors beginning in July. So next month, next week is essentially when that's going to take place. So we're going to be starting the video off there. It was a great take by the head of research at Galaxy. We're then going to be looking at what took place yesterday and the interesting nature of it. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the fact that Bitcoin sold off significantly more than altcoins. And yesterday we looked at CoinShares report that said despite all the outflows that we saw coming from Bitcoin and Ethereum, actually we saw major inflows in the likes of the crypto basket projects. So altcoin basket ETPs, exchange traded products, which is interesting because we have a number of ETPs like 21 shares, 21 Savages, ETP, exchange traded index essentially for cryptos, which contains a basket of altcoins. Large cap market funds from Bitwise, top 10 cryptos, and also what's the other one that we have? 21 shares, and of course Grayscale's large cap fund, which track altcoins. We're very bullish on them. We're very bullish on the space as a whole. It gives us further confirmation in the direction things are going. If you guys haven't considered becoming a Patreon, join for 1 month, and the first thing you've got to do is go and watch the meeting that we held live last night. It is well worth a watch. Not only is it going to give you sort of guidance in regards to where the cryptocurrency space is in relation to the macroeconomic picture, it's also going to really help you guys to get used to understanding markets and how they work. So do go and do that. Of course, if you've got the money. If you don't put yourself out. So we're going to be taking a look at that. Then we're going to be diving over to the fact that the German government is selling Bitcoin at this point, and there's varied reports. So one report is saying that Germany has moved over 100 or 1,700 BTC to exchanges. There's another report here saying that they've now added an additional 400 Bitcoin that they've sent over to Kraken and Coinbase. You are going to have this. There are going to be sellers, there's going to be buyers. And actually, I think that this whole Mt.Gox thing is a blessing, not a curse. We want bad news as investors, or I certainly do, because we'll take advantage of it, understanding the broader context of the markets, where they're at, the fact that we're in a bull market, the fact that we're in an uptrend for risk more broadly. And this is just a pullback, a correction within what is a broader uptrend. The trend is your friend. Do not veer away from that path, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think you're smarter than the markets and try and time every top and every bottom. Get in for the bull, get out for the bear. That's it. Simple. Or it should be simple. It's never quite that simple. But we will help you do that here on this channel. So do become a subscriber. We've done a fantastic job of it getting back into the markets on January 2023. Literally the perfect bottom for Bitcoin, perfect bottom for many altcoins. We've had altcoins 400%, 500%, 600% up since then. You can get on board with all that through not only becoming a subscriber, but joining the Patreon. We also are releasing courses very soon. We just need to set up a few things in regards to invoicing and things like that. There will be a free course that people can take to kind of introduce them into that. There's a newsletter below. Sign up to it. It's totally free until the courses are released. And of course, the newsletter is free always. But do sign up for that. So let's get into it all. Let's stop rambling on. We're going to be talking about quite a lot in this video. Let's kick things off with a little bit of Mt.Gox news. So I showed you a video yesterday when I had a little bit more hair than I currently have. Not that much more, I must say. I mean, crypto does tend to age you at a rapid rate. It's kind of like, you know, being a drug addict, maybe. Sort of, I guess. A portfolio checking addict. It's very interesting that I've been covering Mt.Gox for as long as I've been making content. We looked at a video when Bitcoin was back in the 12K range just before March 2020 when I was talking about Mt.Gox and how it had resurged. There's lots of people really worried about this because it's $9 billion. But is it $9 billion? There's lots of ifs, buts, and maybes. People always, I'm going to look at somebody sharing who's the head of research, I think, is it at Uphold? Yeah, sharing their kind of doom and gloom scenario for crypto, AI, and risk generally. We're on the opposite side of that. But there's always fear. And this was a great tweet from Alex Thorne, who is the head of research at Galaxy. Creditors have been stuck in Mt.Gox bankruptcy for over 10 years. Finally, trustees say in-kind distribution of BTC Bitcoin Cash will begin in July. We think fewer coins will be distributed than people think, and that it will cause less Bitcoin sell pressure than markets expect. Here's why. Let's dive into it. So the data, just make sure I've got this on the right screen. The data in this thread is based on reviewing bankruptcy filings, talking with creditors, and a variety of assumptions. Please note that these are estimates and are intended to be directional rather than definite. That is not investment advice, and please do your own research. It's sad that people always have to say that. Everybody should do their own research. You should all have the ability to apply your own opinion to somebody else's. And you need to be critical thinking is something that should be taught in every single school. They teach us nonsense in schools that are never going to be used because ultimately it's all about training you up to be part of the system. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. So on May the 13th, I sent a note to clients and counterparties of Galaxy Digital or Galaxy Research, detailing some of the numbers. See the summary graphic. Mt.Gox lost 940,000 Bitcoin, and that's $424 million at the time, and recovered 15% of it, which is 141,000 BTC, and at the time that was 63.9 million. It's now worth 9 billion, while only a 15% recovery. That's a 140% gain for creditors in US dollar terms. So you can see this is the sort of stats that he has here. He goes on to say, to get the payout now, the early payout, lol, creditors took a 10% haircut. We think 75% of BTC choose this option, leaving 95,000 coins for early pay. Of that, 20k coins are owned to claims funds, and 10k coins are owned to the Bitcoinica BK, leaving 75k coins for individual creditors. There's an extension to this. BTC and Bitcoin Cash is much less than that, than the 141,000 coins that are published by the press regularly. But there are also some reasons to believe that the individual creditors will be more diamond-handed than the markets expect. So creditors are significantly skewed towards long-term Bitcoiners. They are tech-savvy early adopters. Individual creditors resisted years of compelling and aggressive offers from claim funds, suggesting they want their coins back rather than the US-denominated payout. Capital gains implications selling would be significant, with price appreciation, even though it would be 15% in-kind recovery. Claims USD holders are up 140% since the bankruptcy on their recovered coins. That being said, even if only 10% of the 65,000 coins are sold, that's 6,500 BTC to be dumped on the market and likely in market sales, so directly on the market, not OTC over the counter. Creditors receive coins either to accounts at Kraken, Bitstamp, or BitGo, with most individuals having them deposited directly into their Kraken or Bitstamp trading accounts. A few thoughts on the claims funds from speaking with some of them. My understanding is that the vast majority of LPs in these funds are HNW Bitcoiners looking for Bitcoin at a discount, not credit funds doing an arb trade. While it's certainly possible that some LPs sell, I don't believe these funds are most comprised of traders seeking arbitrage. Bitcoin Cash is likely to fare much worse than Bitcoin from the Mt.Gox distribution. No creditor originally purchased Bitcoin Cash. The recovered Bitcoin Cash stems from Mt.Gox using the BTC keys to claim the fork, because of course the chain split, which occurred years after the Mt.Gox bankruptcy. BCH liquidation is very low, or liquidity is very low. So he's talking about how ultimately that means that Bitcoin Cash is going to get hit significantly hard. So this is more of a damaging event because they got the Bitcoin Cash for free, basically. So I believe the number of coins being distributed is lower than the market expects. See all types of these headlines. And I think Bitcoin Cash will perform worse on a relative basis than Bitcoin. Once those coins are distributed, a much larger portion will be sold by creditors into a much lesser liquidity. Lastly, you can watch for coin movements here. We'll leave a link in the description. All coins will be distributed into creditors' accounts at Kraken, Bitstamp, and BitGo, so on and so forth. So I wanted to share this because the people were just running wild with this on Twitter, on YouTube, across the board. Yes, it's going to be a bit of sell pressure, but how bad is that sell pressure going to be? It's not going to be $9 billion worth. I've always said that a lot of the people that were involved with Mt.Gox will be long-term Bitcoin holders. They'll be happy to get their coins back. They'll understand the sort of context of the market that we're in. They'll have a kind of belief in Bitcoin. They won't want to incur the capital gains tax. Not all those funds are going directly to creditors. It's a portion of what was originally taken. It's a nothing burger broadly, in my opinion. And ultimately, I think it's largely going to get absorbed by flows we're going to be seeing in regards to ETFs. So let's talk quickly whilst we're on the sort of doom and gloom news in regards to the German government selling an additional $24 million in Bitcoin. So they've already sold, apparently, I think it was $3 billion. The price didn't really move that much. People always over amplify any kind of negative news because that's how media works, ladies and gentlemen. Even we do it on this channel. You know, we get accused of clickbait and things like that. We're always open, honest, and transparent, okay? We use attention-grabbing headlines so that we can bring people to what is genuine and real content. And you only have to watch the content to understand that. And that's how the game works. If you don't do that, and I always get this question from people who don't have YouTube channels, don't understand social media marketing and things like this. That's how the game works, ladies and gentlemen. How do you think you end up with people like Andrew Tate in a position that he's in? Because it's a shocking wow factor. He's an example of many. So, in the past 2 hours, German government has moved 400 BTC to Kraken and Coinbase. They have also moved 500 BTC. We have yet to see their movement funds. So you are going to get this. You're going to get people that once bought the ETF deciding they want to sell it. This is part of the ebb and flows of markets, and it's over amplified because of the fact that the markets are going through a bit of a correction. Bitcoin was always going to correct at its all-time high period. It aligns with the seasonality that we're going through for markets. It's always a dull period. This is on low volume. If you look at all these sort of sell-offs, they're all happening on low volume. That volume will pick up, and this, in my opinion, is going to be a sort of pullback in what is a broader uptrend. So enough of the kind of, depending on whether you're a Bitcoin or altcoin holder, doom and gloom news. It's not going to be as bad as people think it is. We've continued to say that. Our broader opinion on the markets is still that they're going up. Let's talk about the interesting thing that took place yesterday. And if we look at the past 7 days, Bitcoin is down more than basically every single altcoin, probably in the top 30, barring Mantle. We're in top 40s now. So Bitcoin is selling off, and I think there's fundamental reasons for this more than many altcoins. Now, that had me thinking, because we are going to get an alt season. We are on the cusp, I believe, of Bitcoin dominance rolling. I think actually when you start seeing meme coins and things like this move, it's a good barometer that may be coming because it suggests a broader appetite for risk in an environment that's going to be supportive for risk generally. It's the same reason we saw Stan Druckenmiller move from NVIDIA down to the IWM. Again, check out the Patreon, check out that meeting. The subscription fee, in my opinion, is worth just yesterday's meeting. So this had me thinking, actually yesterday we looked at a CoinShares report, and at the bottom it says multi-asset products saw nearly $100 million in inflows. $100 million is big for the altcoin market, by the way, suggesting investors see the weakness in the altcoin market as a buying opportunity, despite the fact that Bitcoin saw a massive amount of outflows and Ethereum did also. Now, the interesting thing about this is when we talk about, they're talking about ETPs here and altcoin ETPs, like what 21 Savage offer in their crypto basket ETP, they're looking technically at what we're also looking at. So this is going up in our assessment, just like we looked at miners, crypto stocks, a lot of things yesterday. There's some great crypto stocks out there, by the way, that I think are going to do spectacularly. But this is 21 Savage. I've got to stop calling them that. 21 Shares is crypto basket. This is going to do phenomenally. This is Bitwise. Over a 10x nearly in this. And of course, Grayscale Digital Large Cap Funding. And people don't believe these targets get made that we have. Well, we've given you so many examples and proof. I mean, Ethereum made our target for recently. MicroStrategy, loads of stocks last year, you know. The interesting thing here is, are we on the cusp now of Bitcoin dominance rolling? And I think we're very, very close to it, ladies and gents. I really, truly do believe that. There's fundamental news to suggest that also with the Ethereum ETF potentially coming this next month. This will roll just like it has done previously. I brought up sort of meme coins actually, and this is a really stupid one, but we don't see people talking about it. And we look at the markets from a sort of 360 analysis. When Dogecoin typically gets its first sort of run, this is a barometer that actually the appetite for risk is increasing and that potentially altcoins, Bitcoin dominance is about to roll. We know Bitcoin dominance will roll. Just quickly on the topic of the crypto index funds, they also align with where we think markets just rinse and repeat, and that's what our market mastery course is all about, understanding that. When we look at total 2, we still very much believe, supporting off the 30 weekly moving average, that we are heading to $3.8 trillion. It's walking, talking, quacking like a duck. It's a duck, ladies and gentlemen. We love that saying because it's true. We've got that broader thesis on Bitcoin. If you look at where it bounced, hang in there. This market is going to turn around. It's going to turn around soon. And all this noise will be proven to be exactly that. Now is an amazing opportunity. You're going to be buying some of the altcoins that I have at a cheaper price than I have in regards to my average. Some you'll be getting in a little bit later on, but now is an amazing time, in my opinion. This is not financial advice to be in this market, certainly the altcoin market, because there's a lot of things happening. And yesterday was very interesting in regards to the fact that we saw Bitcoin sell off more than the altcoin market significantly. I was going to share with you a bit of a doom and gloom take. I don't think I am because I don't hold much weight to it. The reason I was going to bring it up was just to show you that there's people that have been bearish now that weren't bearish in 2022 when we were out the market because it was a bear market. They flipped bearish at the bottom for Bitcoin and they've doubled down the whole way up. You even have Capo buying altcoins at this point, you know, and we respect anybody that's brave enough to publicly put their opinion out there, even if I think it's wrong. But at the same time, I was going to show that as just a barometer that it's nonsensical. So that's it from me, guys. Mt.Gox thing is going to be nothing burger. German government selling. That's good. You know, who cares? Ultimately, it's not going to stop the plans that have already been set in motion, the direction that's already been set in motion. That doesn't just get supported technically from some of the things. We looked at a couple here. Also, you can look at the stock market against crypto total 2, and you can look at the general PMI cycles, global liquidity cycle, so on and so forth. We cover so much of it. We don't want to sort of cram too much into one update. But that is it from me, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed this update as much as I enjoyed presenting it. Hang in there, guys. Understand there's an amazing opportunity here in the cryptocurrency space. It's up to you guys whether you want to take it or not. Understand crypto is very volatile, very risky. You can lose all your money in this space. There's no guarantees that you're not going to do that. But just don't try and be too smart. That's the best advice I can give people. Don't trade leverage unless you're a trader like me that's been doing it for years, that's done it under counsel, that's learned from some of the best traditional technical analyzers I could possibly have found and paid tens of thousands to do that. And even still, I play with a very small account on leverage. The majority of my money is sat in an investment position in the altcoin market because I think it's going to be the best performing market in what is going to be broadly a good time. That's it from me, ladies and gents. Newsletter link in the description, Patreon link in the description. Go and check that out. And if you're not already a subscriber, what are you doing not subscribing to one of the fastest growing YouTube channels that there is? On some certain altcoins, we have the most viewed content on YouTube, period. It's because we know what we're talking about and we're here for you guys. And a massive thank you to each and every one of you. That's it from me, ladies and gents. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you all in the next one.